Hello everyone, welcome to this series on American literature, and in this video we are going to discuss the poem Harlem or A Dream Deffered by Langston Hughes. Introduction. Harlem, also known as A Dream Deffered, is a powerful poem by Langston Hughes that explores the consequences of unfulfilled dreams within the African American community, particularly in Harlem, New York. Written in 1951, the poem uses vivid imagery and similes to express the emotional and societal impacts of delayed aspirations. The poem reflects on the struggle for racial equality and the frustrations of deferred progress, culminating in a haunting, unresolved question: or does it explode? Background. Historical context. Written in the early 1950s, Harlem emerged in a period marked by the aftermath of World War II and the early stages of the civil rights movement. It reflects the ongoing struggles of African Americans who, despite fighting for their country, continued to face segregation, discrimination, and economic hardship. The poem captures the disillusionment of a community whose dreams of equality and prosperity have been repeatedly deferred. Literary context. Harlem is part of Hughes's larger work, Montage of a Dream Deffered, a book-length poem sequence that draws inspiration from jazz and blues music. The collection explores the experiences of the black community in Harlem, and the central theme of deferred dreams runs throughout the poems. The title Harlem situates the poem within a specific geographical and cultural context, while the deferred dream symbolizes the broader struggles of African Americans. Theme analysis. The cost of social justice. Delayed dreams. The poem explores the harmful effects of delaying the dream of racial equality. The repeated deferral leads to feelings of frustration, anger, and hopelessness as depicted through the vivid imagery of the poem. Societal reckoning. The poem suggests that the deferred dream will not simply disappear. Instead, it will demand recognition, potentially leading to a significant societal reckoning. Images of decay. The comparisons to a raisin drying up, a festering sore, and rotten meat illustrate the detrimental impact of deferred dreams on individuals and communities. The individual and the community. Collective dream. The dream in Harlem can be seen as both a collective and individual aspiration. The title implies that the poem addresses the experiences of the entire Harlem community. Personal impact. The imagery used in the poem highlights the personal, tangible effects of a deferred dream, suggesting that individual and collective dreams are intricately connected. Historical significance. The poem reflects the collective frustration of African Americans during a time when their dreams of equality and civil rights were continually deferred. Line-by-line explanation and analysis. Line 1. What happens to a dream deferred? This opening question sets the stage for the poem, introducing the central theme of delayed dreams. The phrase deferred suggests postponement and neglect, hinting at the consequences of such inaction. Lines 2 to 5. Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore, and then run? These lines use vivid similes to describe the possible outcomes of a deferred dream. A raisin drying up symbolizes a dream losing its vitality, while a festering sore represents a dream that becomes painful and infected. Lines 6 to 8. Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? The imagery of rotten meat evokes disgust and decay, while the crusted, syrupy sweet suggests something once desirable that has become stale and unpleasant. Lines 9 to 10. Maybe it just sags, like a heavy load. These lines shift the imagery to one of burden, indicating that a deferred dream may weigh heavily on those who bear it, dragging them down emotionally and physically. Line 11. Or does it explode? The final line is italicized for emphasis, suggesting a powerful, potentially violent outcome. The explosion could represent a release of pent-up frustration and anger, hinting at the possibility of social upheaval. Symbols. The dream. The dream symbolizes the aspirations of equality, freedom, and opportunity within the African American community. It also represents the individual desires of people in Harlem, making the poem both personal and universal. Explosion. The explosion symbolizes the potential for a dramatic, possibly violent response to the ongoing deferral of these dreams. It underscores the urgency and vitality of this situation. Literary devices. Anaphora. The repetition of phrases like does it and or throughout the poem creates a rhythmic structure that builds tension and anticipation. Simile. Hughes uses similes throughout the poem to draw comparisons between the deferred dream and various decaying or burdensome objects, enhancing the emotional impact. Imagery. The poem is rich in sensory imagery using sight, smell, and touch to convey the deterioration of the deferred dream and its effects on the dreamers. Rhetorical question. The poem's structure revolves around rhetorical questions, which engage the reader and emphasize the uncertainty and anxiety surrounding the deferred dream. End-stopped line. The use of end-stopped lines in the poem's final line, or does it explode, creates a dramatic pause that reinforces the weight of the question. Similar poems. A Raisin in the Sun by Lorraine Hansberry. Although not a poem, this play takes its title from Hughes's poem and explores similar themes of deferred dreams, focusing on an African American family's struggles for better opportunities in a racially segregated society. If We Must Die by Claude McKay. This poem deals with the theme of resistance against oppression, reflecting the urgency and potential for violence in the face of injustice, similar to the final line of Harlem. The Negro Speaks of Rivers by Langston Hughes. Another poem by Hughes, this work explores the deep connections between African Americans and their cultural heritage, emphasizing the enduring strength and resilience of the black community. Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. Angelou's poem celebrates the resilience of the African American spirit in the face of oppression, much like Harlem anticipates the response to deferred dreams. Sympathy by Paul Laurence Dunbar. This poem uses the metaphor of a caged bird to represent the struggles of African Americans, resonating with the theme of confinement and the longing for freedom found in Harlem. Conclusion. Harlem by Langston Hughes is a poignant exploration of the consequences of deferred dream within the African American community. The poem uses vivid imagery and rhetorical questions to convey the frustration, decay, and potential volatility that result from delaying realization of these dreams. The poem suggests that the deferred dream will not simply fade away, but will eventually demand recognition, potentially leading to significant social change or upheaval. The poem reflects the broader struggles for racial equality and the ongoing fight for civil rights in America. So this was the detailed discussion and study guide on the poem Harlem or A Dream Deffered by Langston Hughes. We will meet in the next video and discuss some other poem. Until then, goodbye and thank you.